My name is Candan. It's pronounced as Candan, but too many people call me as Candan. That's also okay. Today I'm going to talk about how we can bypass antivirus, firewall, and IDS techniques. And in the first part, we are going to talk about the antivirus evasion techniques, and the second part is the firewall and IPS evasion technique in the both direction. So let me quickly talk about myself. I am the CTO of NormShield Security. We provide continuous security for enterprise companies, and I'm a computer engineer, more than 5-year penetration tester, and my background is actually network and system administrator, although I develop some codes too, but I usually call myself as network and security admin. I have a bunch of certificates, especially in networking and security. That's my email address, candanbulkbash@normshield.com, and Twitter address of my personal and also my company. With that, let's talk about our agenda. First, the antivirus evasion techniques. We are going to talk about 5 methods. The first one is msfvenom, the other one veil-evasion, shellter, unicorn, and metload is the prized one. And then in the second part, we are going to talk about firewall, IPS evasion techniques. And that is going to talk about, in that part, we are going to talk about the meterpreter stage encoding, maybe a little bit encryption. And zombie scan is one of the cool feature of Nmap. So many people don't know about that, but I would like to talk about that. And also tunneling, especially DNS tunneling, it's one of the coolest way to evade firewalls, especially from indirect in to out. And I'll talk about a little bit custom SOX proxy configuration, so you can create your own Tor proxy in order to bypass the firewall and IPS devices. And if we have time, I would like to talk about the transferring data on closed port, which is called as promiscuous transfer. Yeah, you heard right, and it's actually closed port is going to be used for data transferring. So let's quickly start with msfvenom. Maybe you guys already familiar with metasploit, right? Can I see the hands? Those are familiar with metasploit. That's cool. That's cool. So metasploit actually includes a nice tool. It is msfvenom. Actually this is the second version of msfpayload. Maybe you guys used msfpayload in earlier versions, but msfvenom is a combination of msfpayload and msfencoding, and it has a standalone script on Kali Linux box. So how can we run that msfvenom? If you have a Kali Linux, you can easily take a look at the list of the payloads available here. msfvenom stands for creating meterpreters for a target machine. Usually people try to code their own meterpreters or own malwares, but msfvenom is the easiest way to create a malware. In most cases, you need to use a command and control center like metasploit, and also you need a client version of that. It's actually created by msfvenom. And msfvenom has a lot of different payloads available for that. As you can see, there are a huge amount of payloads, and these payloads actually exactly the same that MSF console is supporting. So what I like to do is I would like to start with creating a simple meterpreters. So let me jump to my home directory first, and let's create a directory called what's today, 20, 11, and 24, right? Okay. Okay. So the first thing, maybe you would like to get the code. So I put the code in the slides, and also I shared the slides on SlideShare, and also I posted in the Meetup post page. So if you would like to interested in, let me quickly show that. So when you visit this Meetup page, let me quickly find it. Okay, in this page there is a post for me. In this, when you click on that, you can see that the slide is available on this URL, and also the codes are available here. For example, msfvenom -p, Windows meterpreter, and all of them are available at here. So you don't have to memorize every single step. Just download and get the codes from here. So try to focus on the concept, and you can easily write the script. That's an easiest part. So what I like to do is just create a simple meterpreter for a Windows machine, and I would like to use this command. This command is actually going to create a meterpreter for Windows machines, and it's going to use the reverse TCP. Do you know why I'm using reverse TCP? Or many hackers use reverse TCP. Why? Do you have any idea? Why not bind TCP or reverse TCP? What's the difference? Since in many organizations there is a firewall stands for netting the internal IP addresses. Like, for example, my IP address is actually in the internal network is 172.16.52.216. This IP address is not available from the internet. So there is no way to access this machine from the internet. When you hit this IP address, for example, my public IP address, let me find it. My public IP address is 166 something. So this IP address is actually the NAT IP address in front of my machine, and the local IP is behind. So if you would like to infect the local machine behind a firewall or behind a NAT device, you have to use reverse TCP. Otherwise, you can't connect to this machine. Even if it starts with listening and a port, you can't connect. There's, technically impossible. Okay, so my IP address is this one. I would like to use that IP address to connect to me, and I will use the 443 as a port because I believe that in many organizations 443 is open from the internet, and the format is going to be executable, and the output is going to be rev_tcp_. This is the IP address, the last octet of my IP address, and this is the port I would like to use. So it is going to create an meterpreter for me, and let's quickly take a look at that. What is meterpreter stands for, what it's used for, and also we would like to post it to VirusTotal and see which results we are going to get. I will delete the directory structure from my video because some people are trying to guess what is this man has, something like that. So I will use this as a backup because I run some tests before you start this session, so I want to make sure that everything works fine. So this is our new meterpreter. Before we run that, I would like to submit it to VirusTotal. Everybody familiar with VirusTotal, right? That is one of the famous Google application. It's actually a Google application, and when you submit an executable, it's scanned by multiple virus scanners, and you get the results from multiple devices. And let's submit this. While it's scanning, I would like to use this one on a machine, and let's see what's going to happen. So this is my target machine. I want to use that. So you may ask that, hey, how can you download this to this machine? It's either you should use social engineering, or you can use a USB rubber ducky. It's up to you. You can download it from somewhere, or you can inject on a executable. I don't know. It's your job. But if you somehow access to a machine, if you inject this code in here, this is how you can bypass the antiviruses. And the first thing that we need to start a handler for that. So I will use exploit multi-handler to handle this meterpreter. And you guys familiar with metasploit, I think. Set payload. Which payload I'm gonna use? Windows meterpreter reverse_TCP. Is that correct? Let me see. Is there anybody who is interested in reverse engineering here? Reverse engineering? Good, at least one, huh? So today I'm not going to talk about reverse engineering. It's the advanced part of bypassing the firewalls and antiviruses, but I will use some simple tools for this one. Set LHOST 172.16.52.216. And the LPORT is 443, right? Oops. So are we in good shape? What happens if I run exploit here? What's going to happen? It's going to start the listening. It's not going to exploit anything. It's just in a listening position. So if anybody tries to connect this one, it's going to handle the rest of the case, okay? All right. Let's our victim execute this machine, this executable. Now I have a meterpreter session here. See that? Some people thinking that in Hollywood movies, when there is an access, they expect something like access granted, and you know that black on a black background and green font is saying access granted and some fancy screen. It's in the movies. In the reality, when you get an access to a machine, you gotta get this command prompt. It's one of the powerful tools that you would like to get. So what it's doing is we have a connection with this target machine. Actually, let me open up the command prompt and let's quickly take a look at the netstats. Okay. Okay. So let me put it on the top so everybody can see that. It's seen here a TCP connection is between my Kali Linux and this local machine is established with this process ID 2612. What is that process? It is actually this process, the reverse. Let me filter out that. So you can do that. As you can see that it's 2612. So this guy has a communication connection with my metasploit session. What I can do is just start with simple commands. System information is Windows 7, this name, and all of them. But there is more, of course. For example, if you run help, you are going to see that there are a lot of things that you can do. For example, you can run, upload something, create a directory for that. Even you can get the IP information, ARP pages, and you can start from a recording microphone. But my favorites is actually get system. Okay, if you can somehow get system, it's one of the powerful one. And if you say, let's say a hash dump, oh, let's do this way, like kiwi, and again help, and LSA dump. Okay, you can trust me. So this is actually the hash that we can use. For example, there is a username BGA, and if you need to crack this password, for example, you can scan it online, and I will use, for example, Google is a really nice cracker, and there is nothing. Let me find an LM cracker, or even there is a lot of tools that you can crack LM hashes. Okay, this is not on. This is just download. Okay, anyway, you can crack this password. It's an easy one because the LM hash is not that complicated. So, meterpreter provides a lot of things, but I need one more thing. For example, screenshot. Huh? Everybody likes screenshot, huh? Let's get a screenshot. Screenshot is saved under root this IK something, okay? Does everybody can see that? Saved under this, and let's quickly jump there. On my home directory, there is IK something. Let's quickly take a look at this one. Yeah, this is actually, as you can see, it is my desktop with process hacker, right? So, but screenshot is good, but it's not as good as VNC, right? Because I would like to see the interactive sessions of a machine. So what I like to do is run VNC. What was that? Okay, run VNC. Okay, 4545 on my local port. When I run this one, VNC, we were my local port. Okay, there it is. Since this is the target machine, it's not, by the way, it's not a remote desktop, or it's not my other machine. It's just the remote session of the target machine. When I clear this session, and I can see exactly the same thing at here. See that? So, meterpreter is one of the powerful tool that you can use. And last but not least, I would like to start with key scan start. What does this stands for? It's actually a keylogger. And let me run notepad here. Okay, let's use my super secret. Does anybody using this password? Okay, I write something and I will use key scan dump. See that? It's actually a powerful keylogger also, and you can do a lot of things with meterpreter. And I will stop the key scan now. So this is meterpreter. As you can see, it's really harmful, and if you infect in a machine, you can use it a lot of purposes, and even you can go through to be a domain administrator. But what's Aristotle thinking about that? Aristotle is saying that, hey, this one is really bad, and every single antivirus is saying that it's bad, except some of the interesting Trend Micro. Probably it's going to catch you while you run it, because the static analysis may sometimes fool you, but Trend Micro will probably catch you. But you can see that everybody is catching you, including Microsoft. Okay, even Microsoft can catch a meterpreter. So what we need to do is we need to make this one a little bit invisible. First thing is we can do is we can encode the meterpreter. Meterpreter is itself is an executable, and it includes a lot of the famous signatures that antiviruses can easily understand. So in order to hide the signature, we usually use encoding. Encoding is just shifting bits and bytes, so it's going to be seem different, but it's going to function exactly the same way. And I will use one of the famous one, Shikita Ganai, and the command is going to be this way, but I need to modify this. So here's my scroll. And there it is. Okay, first of all, the same payload, the command and control center is this IP address. Let's keep the port the same. Shikita Gana is going to be our encoder. See, this one is actually the encoder. And if you are curious about which encoder is supported, you can easily say that msfvenom x minus e. I think, let me see, maybe minus le. I don't know, but there's a command for that, and you can list the payloads. And I think I take a note. Oh, okay, this way. Okay, and there is another parameter here. It's saying that minus I11, and it stands for encoding 11 times. The code segment is going to be 11 times encoded, and I would like to use a template for ZoomIt. ZoomIt is actually a legal application. Maybe you guys already see that it's under System Internal Suite. What I like to do is, let me quickly show something to you. If you take a look at this application, the previous version, it says that this is Apache Benchmark command line utility. It is famous and by default signature of meterpreter application. So the first thing that you're gonna do is using the same signature. Okay, stay away from this signature. So what you need to do is find another executable and use it as a template. I will use this one as a template. So I'll copy that. Unfortunately, VMware is not allowing me to copy directly from a Windows machine to a Linux machine, so that's why I'm copying from Mac to Mac first. Okay, let's paste this one to here. This is going to be our template, okay? It's going to seem like a ZoomIt application, but it's going to act differently, a different way. So I'll use this one as a template, and it's going to be executable again, and the name of this executable is going to be reverse TCP Shikita and once for the tree. Okay, good. Now I can run that. While it's running, I want to show you that the supported encoders are these. Some of them are ranked as good, normal, excellent. PowerShell is one of the excellent one, and also Shikitagana is also another one excellent. So that's why I'm using this one. Maybe you can think that, hey, I can encrypt my executable, so it's going to be, super solid. But the worst thing that you're going to do is, if you over-exaggerate the encoding and encryption, antivirus is going to catch you, because the thing is, if antiviruses see that there are a lot of entropy in your application, it's a bad indicator. Stay away multiple encoding, and I'll show you an example for that. So this one is run, and I get an executable, this name. Let's submit this one to VirusTotal again. Copy this one to my evasion folder. Let's submit this one to VirusTotal again. Okay. Does anybody have an idea the score, about the score? What's going to be? Can I see that it's going to be catched by at least 20? Less than 10? More than 30? Nobody's hanging. I mean, nobody's saying anything about that. But this is going to eliminate a lot of the antiviruses, but it's not going to be the ultimate solution. It's easy to implement. At least it's better than nothing, but it will still have some problems. So let's finalize this one. Where is it? Okay, let's copy this and paste to our Windows machine, and let's close the previous session. By the way, if you don't want to use meterpreter session, you can easily jump to shell, and now you are here, and you can use Windows command. Where am I? Okay, good. So let's continue with another one. Okay. Run and exploit, it stands for the same thing. And if I run this one, by the way, let's quickly take a look at this one. As you can see, the icon is different from the previous version. Let me make it bigger. See that? It's no icon, but this one is actually a magnifier. So when I click on the properties, and I can see that there are details. It says the system internal screen magnifier, and it's copyrighted by Mark Russell-Novich and ZoomIt. It's exactly the same signature of this legitimate executable. So it's good, and some antiviruses are really like this way. And one of the one that is okay, ClamAW is open source antivirus. Usually use this trick to bypass that. And also there is another one, famous one. What is that? I don't know. That should be even Microsoft should not catch that. Oh, interesting. Microsoft catch that. Good. At least better than anything. So the score is actually 31, and the previous version it was 40. It's getting better, but it's far away from invisible meterpreter. So what we need to do is, when I run this, it's going to exactly work in the same way. And you can see that there is another meterpreter session available for here, and I can run that system information on all of them. So we can see that we can bypass some of the antiviruses, but not all of them. So we need a better way to do that. And the other way is actually the msfvenom uses a lot of tricks to do that, but it's not that easy to bypass all the antiviruses. And some people are thinking that, as I already said, that if you use multiple encoder, it's not going to make it invisible. Okay, this is, for example, a code used for multiple encoding. This one creates a row one, and the pipe is going to another encoding, and pipe to another encoding. So the score is not going to be better. Actually, it's going to be exactly the same, because the entropy is getting higher and higher. So I will skip that one, but I will start with veil-evasion. Veil-evasion, does anybody heard that before? Veil-evasion? Nobody? Okay. You can download it from GitHub. yeah, this one is their GitHub page. It's using the Python to generate a number of good evasion techniques. So you can easily install it on your Kali Linux apt-get install veil-evasion. It's also possible. I have already done, and I can use one of the favorite one. And some of them are C, C#, and Python, PowerShell, and all of them. And let's start with C meterpreter reverse TCP. Let's start with 6. Okay. The usage is easy. You can say use 6 instead of whole meterpreter. The whole meterpreter directory is also possible. And I will set LHOST 172.16.52 and 216. Okay. Set LPORT 443. Okay, now if I run info, okay, seems good. Let's generate. The name is reverse TCP C meterpreter 216 and 443. I'll use this name notation in order to memorize that name, what's that stand for. Okay, it is generated and it's under var library veil-evasion output compile somewhere here. Okay. Let's quickly find that. Okay, var, what was that directory? Var library veil-evasion, okay. Var library veil-evasion output compiled, and this name, right? Let's use that. Paste here. And let's quickly submit it to VirtualTotal. Although, this is the funny part. When you generate something, it's saying that please do not submit it to online scanner. Okay. The problem is when you submit multiple meterpreters to online scanner, they are learning. Is there any antivirus company? It's here. How about Raman Security? Raman Security is here. It's not here. Okay, good. At least we trick them, huh? Oops, not this one. Virus total. Okay, choose a new one. Reverse TCP C meterpreter. Okay, let's use this one and scan it. It will run exactly the same way, and let's test it quickly because it's almost identical with the encoded one, but it has a better score. At least I hope so. Let's run again. Our handler is running, and this one is our new meterpreter. As you can see, this stage is sending, so I got a new meterpreter session available here. Good. So, what is VirtualTotal thinking about that? No, it's not that finished yet, but at least we're gonna see a better score. So, probably it's going to be 25 something or even one or more. As you can see, we bypassed a number of scanners, including Microsoft, McAfee. There are a good number of scanners bypassed, right? Because we still have difficulty with some of the famous ones. For example, Kaspersky and Avast, Bitdefender, and let me see. Okay, yeah, Symantec. All of them are problematic. Whose phone is this? Music is playing. Somebody's handling that? Okay, background music is fine. So, we have a better score. It's approximately half of the antiviruses are bypassed, and we have a better score than encoding, right? So, we're doing good, and we should need a little bit better way. And in the veil-evasion, the better way is actually using Python. And I will use list again, and this is the one that is really cool. 34. Let's use this one, 34. It has a number of good different functionalities, although this has to be, or let me see. Okay, set LHOST 172.16.52 to 16. Okay, LPORT 443. Okay, use Pyra. Even you can use an encryptor, but for this moment, let's not use, okay? Because I'm not sure whether it's gonna work or not, but I will use the default one. First of all, maybe we can try with the other one. So I think this is all. I will use generate. The name is going to be reverse TCP, and this one is actually Python and 216 and 443, right? Yeah, good. So it's asking that Python installer, another obfuscated installer, or Python to executable. One is good one. It's actually putting your payload in a Python script and it's embedding in an executable. So your script is not available from the external scanners, but it's in there. This executable is using to decompile that script and use it as a parameter. So it's a very good way to bypass some of the antiviruses. As you can see that it's actually sitting here. This Python is going to be embedded in an executable. It's going to be run on a machine. Although it's going to be a little bit bigger executable, but it's going to have a better score. Same directory, this one. Let's find that. Okay, Python, where is it? This one, right? Okay, good. Let's copy that to here. Okay. So the size is actually, as you can see, it's 3.5 megabyte, although the other one's actually less than a megabyte. Okay, see that? This one is actually 3.5. Let's copy that to our Windows machine. See that it's actually a Python icon, and let's submit it to verse title to verse total. Okay, let's choose this Python. Okay, in order to make sure that it's working properly, let's make sure that it's running. Okay, it's running, I think. Yeah. We got the same result. So our meterpreter is running with this executable also. And let's see the antivirus score. 13. Yeah, it's better score, huh? And actually, while we started with 40. Now we are 13. That's a very good one. And we also bypass some of the tough one. For example, Bitdefender, Komodo, and Kaspersky. Huh? That's good. But they have another weapon in their hands. This one is actually some of the heuristic and static scan. But when you run it on a machine, they are going to scan the threads and all the runtime environment. So there would be another weapon on their hand, but it's an advanced antivirus bypassing technique. So we have another weapon too, by the way. Okay, good. So this is a veil-evasion, so you can create this kind of things, but veil-evasion scores is not usually less than 10. It's between 10 to 30. So we need better one, and let's use the better one. Shellter. Does anybody heard Shellter again before? Shellter is one of the good one. But while I'm recording this video, let me see that why I am actually recording this video, because I would like, yeah, it's on the record. So the good thing is Shellter is very powerful. It's sophisticated, and it's usually using exactly the same way that antivirus is using it's actually running the executable, analyzing the threads, and finding some import address table sections and creating some bunch of codes and polymorphic codes on all of them. So it creates a lot of good stuff. I really like this tool, but the problem is this guy is struggling with money. So he needs money, and there is a donation button available somewhere on this site. I'm not sure. Yeah, here it is. Donate. Okay. Please, if you're planning to use this one, and if you need this guy to, continue to develop this one, please donate him. So maybe you can buy him a cup of tea or something like that. So the shellter is actually one of the complicated and sophisticated tool, and you can use it in Kali Linux. apt-get install shellter. It's easy. Okay, when you install it, you can run shellter. It's going to open a wine window. I think everybody is familiar with wine, right? It's not drink. Come on, guys. Of course, it's not drink. It's actually the Windows emulation on Linux platforms. This guy is running an executable, analyzing that on a platform, so you can use this platform to, create an malwares and something like that. So it is asking me that, do you want to use the auto or manual mode? Manual is pretty sophisticated and advanced. For the starters, please stay away from manual. Maybe you should better use auto. I will use this executable. It's actually under where is it? Okay, root. It's easy. Hat. It is using a legitimate executable in order to create a malware. So the legitimate executable is ZoomIt. Okay. It's backing up. Actually, it creates a backup of your executable. See that? This is the backup. Okay, let's continue. It's saying that it's not patch. DLL seems good. No. Okay, this assembler is actually created. That's also a good one. It will continue after 15 seconds. It's going to analyze this executable for 30 seconds, seeing that these threads are available. This thread seems a good one, good candidate. I'll use this thread or this one, this memory section. So it creates a bunch of algorithms to create a malware for that. So the good thing is it is including some meterpreter sessions built in. So we can directly use this one. Let's start with this one, but I will use the another one in the other part, in the second one. I will use the first one, and this is going to be listed, and then index is 1. Let me make it this way. Okay. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, good. Reverse TCP. Okay. LHOST is 172.16.52.216. Okay. LPORT is 443. Good. It's generating. You can even change the import address table. You can encrypt your binary. You can use custom encoders. You can use a lot of things. If you're interested in reverse engineering and all of that stuff, this one is a really cool tool. Yeah, I really like that. So the good thing is, if you know what you are doing, this provides you a lot of options. For example, you can choose which allocation method is going to be allocate your shellcode. So sometimes injecting your shellcode in memory might be problematic because antiviruses are aware of that you are going to inject your shellcode in some other process memory or in your memory. So they are investigating. There are a bunch of good methods to bypass that method, and this one is allowing you to choose one that. And it is going to create some polymorphic codes. This is going to, fool antiviruses to think that, hey, this one is doing something, but I don't know what it is. So I'll just skip that part because antivirus developers are, they are sick of the different types of malwares and they are sick of polymorphic code. So sometimes they give up. And if you find this one for a certain time of period, let's skip that. And they begin to, bypass that. So in the final position, your malware is verified, and this one is actually infected one. Okay, let's copy that. Okay, this one is original, this one is infected one. Let's copy that to our, and I will use this one as ZoomIt_original because I don't want to use lost that now. So if you use it with default settings, and the virus total is going to still okay, good. Zoom it, this one. Okay, while it is scanning, let's confirm that it's working as we expected. Oh, no, this one, this one. Okay, did we run that? Yeah. It's going to take a little bit time to start because it's using some sophisticated methods to start. Therefore, it's going to take a little bit time to start a meterpreter session, but it will start probably. So let's take a look at the virus total scores. Okay. What time is it? Oh, we are about to run out of time, huh? Let me see what we have got in our hands. Okay, before the break, I would like to use the metload. It's going to be our last one. I will skip this one because it requires a little bit effort to generate. I will leave it to you to investigate that, but at least metload is going to be the good one before the break. So while it is generating, I will jump to auto metload. This one is actually our internal tool. Okay. It's not publicly available, but it's easy to use. Auto metload, it's saying that 32-bit, 63-bit, 62-bit, and 4-bit, and I will use 32-bit, and this is going to be my command and control center. Okay, not that way. Oh, that's true. And 443. That's all we need to do. But before that, I need to get this one to results. Okay. Okay, meterpreter is available here, as you can see. It's working exactly the same way that we expected. I will exit it out, and I will generate this one because I need the handler, exactly the same handler. Okay. Seems good, good, good. Let's start. It is created under var w-metload 32. And where is it? Okay. Here, var ww-metload 32. Okay, this one, good one. And let's copy this one to here. Let's submit it to VirusTotal also. Alright, metload. Okay, let's open this one. The difference between the shellter and metload is, as you can see, shellter is doing good job. It's 10, and if you modify the executable and modify it a little bit, you know, the configuration in that wizard, you will probably get less than 10 results with using the shellter. So it's one of the better one, but we still have a better one too. Come on, FCQ, what are you doing? Interesting. 5. This is interesting. 6. Okay, good. 9. Oh, it's going to be more than 10, huh? Interesting. Okay, anyway, this one should be a better score. What did I wrong? I don't know. I'll investigate it while in the break. But for this moment, we have a number of methods to bypass some antiviruses. At least we can bypass the dozens of them. And so this is going to be the end of first part. In the second part, we are going to talk about a little bit firewall and IPS and IDS evasion techniques. And I will run this one on a antivirus enabled machine. For example, this is going to be my machine. As you can see, it is up to date. And the coolest part is I changed the code a little bit in order to work this one. Let's copy and paste here. And where is it? Okay, the listener is actually working here. Metapreter session is closed. What's happening here? Oh, this session is trying to connect me. Okay, let's kill that. This one is Avira antivirus, and it is up to date. I updated before the session. When I run it on an antivirus enabled machine, and it actually has a Windows Defender too, since Microsoft is doing a great job. And I can see that my metload is working now, but it's going to be disappear in a second. The red means that it's going to disappear because it's going to kill itself. But the problem is we still have a connection with our command and control center. See that? I have a meterpreter sessions, and let me do this way, -L session -interact with 2. Okay, so when I run system information, it's actually Camden-PC, it's antivirus enabled machine, this one. And the interesting thing is my executable is not working, and I can easily delete this one. It's not working, but I have a connection. Where's my executable? Who is communicating with my machine? Let me show you interesting thing. This one is Avira, right? Avira system try, and let's quickly take a look at the properties and memory. Where is it? Okay, strings, let's find, and I will search my command and control center IP address. Yes, what we did is we are not only infecting this machine, but also we are injecting the antivirus's address space. Actually, the antivirus is my zombie now. So this is how we can do it. So let's have a break. After the break, we will continue with that.